Film Autopsy.
I love that opening. I love that so much.
Oh yeah, we are back. That's right, palms up, kung fu style, baby. What is going on? It's your boy Preston, Fat Samurai Guy, back again with another episode of Action Film Autopsy. Actually, the first episode of the year 2024. Hanging out with my brother from another mother. That's right, Kung Fu Santa himself, Ric Meyers. Welcome back, brother.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry we were a little late, but we have really good reasons, which we can dictate. We always, I become anal about trying to do, if it's the January Action Film Autopsy, then I want to do it the last day of January. And we were scheduled for the last day of January.
Yes, but
then somebody got sick.
Yeah, somebody caught the coof. Samurai Guy for all these years, I've dodged the coof, but it got me. So I'm doing better. If you guys are wondering, I'm doing better, and I'm not 100% yet.
I got it. I got it at the San Diego Comic-Con, but he got it last week. And meanwhile, had I gone to Sifu Goldberg's huge action martial arts event in Atlantic City, I probably would have gotten it there too, because my friend Cynthia Rothrock and her family got it there. And I bet a bunch of other people got it there. So COVID is not over, folks. It's not over.
Yeah. So I'm still struggling a little bit, but my brother here, he's going to help me out and get me through this stream. But hey, we're here to have some fun and talk movies. And who do we have in the house watching right now? Oh my goodness, we got Jet Tiger,
yay!
In the house, certified badass channel members, Jake Hall, Adam Evans, G Lopez. Oh yeah, Jet says he gives 60 minutes and Badland Hunters a thumbs up. There we go.
We'll see if I do the same. We'll see.
Yes. Brian says hello, Fat Samurai Guy and Kung Fu Santa.
Hey Brian,
everyone. It's great to see everyone here. And man, Rick, I mean, this month, in terms of action and martial arts films for the month of January, is this like the biggest ever for a while for January? Really,
it's super simple. For 4 years now, the entire entertainment industry has been going, come on, let us go. Oh, the pandemic's over. Oh, we're having a strike. Oh, the strike is over. Oh, we have another strike. Oh, it's over. And now they're finally unleashed. And so everybody's saying, we don't have to wait for the spring. We don't have to wait for the summer. We don't have to wait for the fall. We don't have to wait for Christmas. Release it now. And so all this stuff is coming out. And almost every movie we're talking about today or television show was delayed by the pandemic and delayed by the strikes. They're all sitting around going, we started filming this in 2020. We started filming this in 2022. But now they're finished. They're going, get it out. And so, and also, I have to say, Netflix has really got their rhythm. They know what they're now that they're releasing all their number of views. I mean, they count the minutes watched, and they're releasing that to the public now. Once they did that, they said, let's make better stuff. It doesn't have to be, incredibly artistic. It just has to be, if it's going to be an action movie, let's make it a good action movie rather than just a time filler action movie.
Right.
And also, they've unleashed the world. Most of the stuff we're showing here, I mean, it's half and half. It's half American, half British, half it's German, it's French, it's Japanese, it's Chinese, it's Korean. They've unleashed all that. It's Indian. And and we're getting the best stuff. Same thing with Welgo. Welgo USA is releasing, they're picking and choosing.
Yeah.
And they're letting it go.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, this has been a crazy, amazing, action-packed month.
I'm wearing my action-packed shirt. I couldn't decide what shirt I was going to wear. This is two guys fighting each other. Two manly men in just the tiny little shorts, wrestling and judoing and karateing each other. I haven't worn this in years, but I said this is the perfect month to do it.
Oh yeah,
because we have a lot of mano a mano, punchy this month.
Yes, it's fun. But before we get into that,
Yes.
we got some shout outs to give out. Rick, you go first.
Well, originally, if you read the little thing that Fat released onto Facebook and all the other places, we were going to have Miko and Jen, my dear friends from animation and special effects. They were here last month. They wanted to do it this month, and they were planning on doing it today. And then then at about 2:00 my time, Eastern time, I get a text saying, well, we really wanted to do it, but we're having friends visiting, and we thought we would just go out to dinner with them. But they said, hey, you want to visit the Disney lot? And they sort of went, and so they're out. And I was hoping they would be able to do a picture or a video that I could have showed you going, we really wanted to be there, but look where we are. I'm hoping they're on that amazing set where they do The Mandalorian, which is all the video 360 set.
Yeah.
So that's why they couldn't make it. And I said, I wish I couldn't make it. I wish I was with you.
Yeah, exactly.
on the Disney lot.
Yeah, but shout out to them too. They'll be back on the next one next month.
They're looking forward to it.
That's right. They're always welcome here. They are a family. They are AFA family. And and then shout out to Frank Jang. That's
Frank,
right, commentary beast. Cheers. Get your tea up there, Frank.
It was hilarious. We were Fat and I were discussing before we came on the show, going, well, is Frank going to do this? And he goes, I thought you were going to ask him. And I went, I thought you were going to ask him. And then I went, oh my gosh. And then I realized he had texted or Facebooked or messaged me earlier. I think he's doing 2 or 3 audio commentaries this weekend. So I imagine
that's all.
I imagine that's where he's doing. But Frank, hey, listen, man, if you're not doing that, give us a little message. We'll jump you on here if you've seen any of the stuff I'm reviewing this month.
Yeah, we'll send you the link. But still, shout out to Frank. We'll get him in on the next one as well.
We've just scheduled that for the last day in leap year February 29th.
Yeah,
that's when we're planning to do it.
Yes, sir.
5 Western time, 8 Eastern time.
That's
so
right.
Enough of this. Let's get into it.
But speaking of shout outs, we started a new segment for Action Film Autopsy called Samurai's Shout Outs, baby. That's right.
I'm going to be interested to see what this is all about.
Yes, going to give the shout outs in video form. Want to keep all of you guys watching in the loop, in the know of some smaller films that sometimes fall through the cracks. Through the
Ric cracks.
Yes.
The Ric cracks.
Yes. I want to make sure they get some attention. And I want you guys to check these movies out because here on the channel, we always represent independent cinema. We always support it and genre films. So let's get to the video.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Well, the future of action is in good hands by the looks of this.
Yes.
I
So make
mean,
sure you guys check out all of those titles, show some support, and check out my Mayhem review. I've already reviewed that film here on the channel, and even better, I actually interviewed Jude Poyer, the action director of Mayhem, so you get to see some behind the scenes awesomeness on that. All right, now that we got the honorable mentions out of the way, in a way, hold on a second. There he is, returning badass channel member, Red Eclipse. Thank you so much. It scratches the itch. That's right, man. Yeah. I'm trying to be British again. Yes, with with my tea and crumpets. Yes, and drink and watch the telly. All right. Let's jump right into it. Number one.
we will start with Disney Plus.
Yes, Disney Plus. And Rick, thoughts on Echo?
Well, it didn't start well, but it got better and better, and I enjoyed it a lot. But then, in preparation for today's show, I thought about it, and the foundation of it started to get a little rocky. And I realized that while it was better than some of the other stuff that Disney Plus has been doing, it still shows sign of fraying edges. I still think it's very much worthwhile, but the ending, especially because that's what I'm really talking about. The only thing that came out, I think, in January was the last episode, or the second to the last episode. And that last episode really seemed to be really good and very smart. But then the more I thought about it, the looser, especially the finale, the climax, where she does something that excited me because it, again, wasn't punching, it wasn't anger, it was something energetic, it was open-handed, it wasn't badass, it was smart, it was trying to heal rather than hurt. But then something happened at the end where, well, wait a minute, what happened? Why wasn't anything finished? And then the ending came out of nowhere, and it looked like a rehash of all the Fast and Furious movies, where everybody's in the backyard at the picnic table pretending everything is all right. Meanwhile, the villain who caused all this problem is just walking away, and apparently nothing happened to him. Vincent D'Onofrio was great. She was great. The show was good, but something in post-production just didn't make it. It didn't adhere. It just kind of dissolved. But I do hope that what they set up, which is, it looks like Daredevil Born Again, it looks like Young Avengers, the stuff they're setting up, I hope that takes off, and they do that solidly, and they stop doing this, let's just sort of piece it together and hope it works. Yeah, there you go, Michael. Yeah. No, well, you see, that's the difference, Michael. They do know how to nail the ending. They know how to nail the ending extremely well. However, everything since Endgame has just not nailed the ending. But everything before, almost everything except for a couple of very rare exceptions, and they're arguable exceptions, all of those nailed the ending. So they know how to do it. And I basically have been saying it was because of Bob Chapek, the guy who took over for Bob Iger and just sabotaged the entire company with all his yes men and all his non-creatives in creative positions. And also, again, I've mentioned this theory several times, and I'll keep mentioning it, which is, it looks like Chapek was being paid by somebody to sabotage Disney, and he could not have done a better job.
Yeah.
You look at what Disney put out during the Chapek era, and it's like mind-bogglingly poor. But now they seem to. But I think what happens is Echo was clearly made during his tenure. So what happens that now that Iger's back, they sort of say, well, let's see the footage. And is there any way we can save this? Well, let's just do the best we can. So that's what I think is happening. But it all depends on Deadpool 3 and whatever they're doing now.
Right. Yeah. Is Deadpool 3 supposed to change and reboot everything in Marvel?
It's looking that way. it's looking that they're
Ooh.
because they're having their issue. They had their issue with Kang now,
Right.
so they either have to recast Kang or get rid of Kang. I'm hoping they get rid of Kang because Kang is already tainted.
Right. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
fingers
Hope
crossed.
fingers crossed for Daredevil for sure. And Deadpool 3, yeah.
And our next title is a good sign
Okay.
because Disney has tried to do Percy Jackson before.
Right.
There were two or maybe even three other previous movies
Right. I
that
think there were
did
three, yeah.
not work.
Yeah.
This one brought in, and this is what I've been saying, and this a theme of tonight is you bring in the guy who cares, and you'll have a good show. In other words, if you're going to do Wonka,
Yeah.
you bring in the estate of the creator of Wonka, which they did. And so Wonka worked very well. Here, they had the creator of Percy Jackson, Rick Riordan, who wrote most of the episodes and had a control on the creative aspects of the show. And
Oh,
while,
okay.
yeah, and while it's still a very obvious young adult, cliched kind of inspired by Harry Potter type of show, it's the best one they put out so far. And it's very satisfying to Percy Jackson fans. As an adult, the action wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. The dialogue wasn't as good as I wanted it to be because everything is a Harry Potter cliche.
Mm.
I was they and every line is a stereotype followed by a cliche reply. And I talked back to the screen. I put in my own dialogue because I was going, oh no, you should have said something smart. You should have said something clever rather than something expected. But
Yeah.
then again, but I can hear them saying, but you're not a young adult. You're not the audience we're looking for. And I'm going, by the way, I am a young adult up here. And I want to be treated like I'm smart.
Mhm. Right.
Another, yeah, it's a fan of reader. Go ahead, Geeky Andre. I was happy with it. See, there you go. I think they will do Geeky Andre. You see, your opinion is more valid than my opinion. So that's what I thought. But that's a good sign that Disney is getting its strength back.
Okay.
So that was cool.
Copy that. Do we
All
know
right.
there's going to be another season, or it's too early to
I
tell?
haven't heard yet. I seem to remember there was a rumor saying, yes, it's going to happen because they are promoting the heck out of the stars. Those three stars that you showed the pictures of. Yeah, those three. You just go to the Instagram, Disney Instagram or Disney Plus Instagram or TikTok. You'll see them all over it.
Okay.
On trips to Disney, constant
Right.
trips to Disney.
Yeah.
So that's looking really good. By the way, I wanted to say in Echo, the fight choreographer of Echo was Christopher Troy, and he worked on Dark Knight and others. But this is his first major fight choreographer
Mm.
credit.
Okay.
On Percy, Trevor Addy, who worked on a bunch of the Planet of the Apes movies, including the newest one, also did the action in Percy Jackson.
Hmm.
And so again, that was reputable and easy on the eyes. And
Okay.
now let's jump over to Amazon.
All right. Reacher season 2 has finally finished. All right. Overall thoughts, Rick.
Well, don't need overall thoughts because basically that was mostly in
Right.
December. The
Right.
last episode was
Okay.
in
Okay.
January, and the last episode was extremely satisfying.
Yes, that's great to hear. All right.
Extremely satisfying.
Yes.
Here's the deal. This is going to be an ongoing theme of this particular episode, which is when you have the star who is clearly involved, when they have a credit as executive producer, and you don't see them being doubled much. They have their ego on the line, and they are going to be able to hold that thing together. The great thing about Reacher is, of course, Reacher is basically a Roman what's one of those peplum. It's a peplum show. Reacher is not Frankenstein. He is Frankenstein to a degree, but more he's Hercules. He's young Hercules. This show is, especially the last episode, is all about the fact that he has super or supra human strength. He could not have survived. He's the one who holds it together, because if Tom Cruise tried to do on screen what he does in the last episode, it would be this. It would be my reaction to when Tom Cruise did the Reacher movie, which is awful. But this was bring that up. I didn't read that quote.
Okay.
What did the gentleman say?
The
Yeah,
end
see,
was
there we go. Yes,
very
3 berries. 3 out of 2 berries satisfying.
Yeah.
I personally loved it too, because there was another thing that I loved, which you'll also see in Oncoming. My favorite characters are not the fisticuff badasses. They're what I've always waited somebody to do Batman like. I mean, they were saying for the latest Robert Pattinson Batman that they were going to go back and do Batman the way he was originally created, because Batman was not only a fisticuff badass, but he was supposed to be a detective genius. He's
Right.
supposed to be Sherlock Holmes in a cowl, and he never is. In fact, in the Robert Pattinson Batman, he's an idiot. I mean, everybody's saying you're such a great detective. He's a total tool throughout the movie. Same thing with Harrison Ford in the latest Indiana Jones. He's a tool. Reacher is not a tool. Reacher has thought everything out, not just fists, not just muscles. This is the biggest muscle in his body. It's not his pecs, it's his brain. Because that's one of the things that makes it was very satisfying as an action movie. It was very, very satisfying as a adventure, exciting thriller. Right. It was very, very, very exciting because he's so smart. He thinks ahead and he's ready. And that's the thing that I found most satisfying, is when all these villains, because the one thing that I've written about for years in all my novels and all the rest of this stuff is that how good is always smarter than evil. Always. Evil is always stupid, because if they weren't stupid, they wouldn't be evil. Period. Of course, we have these cunning villains,
like Moriarty and stuff.
Right. But Sherlock always wins, because Sherlock is smart and also is fighting for good, which gives him more power. That's why I wrote a series of my novels of Worst Nightmare and Living Hell. I always wanted a counteract to The Omen. The Omen, uses the power of Satan, and all these horror movies, they use the power of hell. And and I'm going, why is Mother Nature siding on the side of evil? Yeah. They should be siding on evil. They should be siding on good. So I created a character in my books who's basically, his name is Father Damien, and when the evil Damien does something evil with, the power of evil, he prays to God and something good happens. And they have a battle between the two of them. And that's one of the things. Reacher doesn't fight. He fights evil. He doesn't fight satanic evil. But he's always smarter than the villain. And the villains say, oh, we've got him trapped. Oh, we're going to double cross him. He already knows. He already expected it. And even better, he already planned for it.
Oh, it's amazing.
And it's like 3 times during the climax where he sort of goes, oh yeah. I mean, there's one moment, and I bet Andre could, back me up on this one, where he sort of goes, yeah, I was expecting you to betray me earlier. It's like,
yeah, I'm the first season came out on 4K. I'm gonna definitely buy both of them once the second season comes out on 4K too.
The second season is better than the first season. First season is good. Second season's better.
Oh, speaking of Batman, Rick.
Yes.
I'm hearing rumors.
Yep.
I'm hearing rumors. This actor is Batman. Would you be okay with that?
I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't be happy with it, because he's Reacher. And he's also in that new movie, the League of Ungentlemanly, whatever it's called, the war movie that Guy Ritchie just directed. That's coming out soon. He's also in that as an archer, using those incredible pecs. So again, Reacher, to my mind, Reacher he's already Batman.
He's already Batman. Yeah.
So I want somebody who's not necessarily the huge hulking figure. That's why I loved Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah.
because I always wondered as a comic book working with Atlas Comics and DC. I worked on the 60th anniversary Batman story. I always loved the idea of what if Bruce Wayne didn't grow up to be a 6'5" muscle bound hero.
Yeah.
He grows up as a 5'2" Michael Keaton. Again, Keaton's smart. Keaton and remember Keaton was doing kung fu because he couldn't move his head in the suit. That was but they made lemonade, and the lemonade was he always moved, and you watch him in that fight in the alleyway, his hands are always open. And he's not trying to punch them, he's just trying to.
I got the statue right here. I got to represent the Keaton, man.
There you go, man.
I represent.
So I'm looking forward to who they would get as Batman, and hopefully they'll get somebody smart.
I'm even more excited to watch season 2 of Reacher for sure. I'm just behind. But next up, we are going to Hiya. Yes. Hiya.
Hiya's next.
The best.
Well, we'll see.
No?
No, it is the best. Although they're getting a run for their money nowadays. So, I mean, Netflix is giving everybody a run for their money.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
Well, we're saving Netflix till the end.
Right. Blind War starring the great, underrated, in my opinion, Andy On.
I don't think Andy On is not underrated. He's just underemployed because, of course, China doesn't want kung fu. Right. So guys like Andy On, and especially Wu Jing, oh God, my glorious Wu Jing.
I know
they won't let him do the movies. Zhu Huafeng, they won't let him do the movies. So the fact that he shows up on these things and he does it slightly better, you can always tell the better movies or the movies they put more effort in because they're more than 1 hour 17 minutes long.
Right.
This thing is an hour 46, and it turns out it should have been 90 minutes. It should have been 90 minutes. You saw this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The fights are excellent. Andy is excellent, and I'm fascinated. You know what do you recognize what this movie is? Did you talk about this in your review?
I did.
What did you say? You enjoyed it, but you realize what it is. From the very first moment when first of all the Chinese and the Japanese and the Koreans are all doing movies about blind fighters.
Right.
Which I find somebody sent me a text going, why all this blind stuff? And I said, I think it's because they realize that the world is going blind again. Everybody in the world is blind to all the terrible things in the world.
Okay.
So they're doing these stories about blind heroes.
Okay.
And just like Zatoichi, the original blind swordsman, in reality, Zatoichi was the only guy who could actually see, even though he was blind. It's actually everybody else in the movie who supposedly have use of their eyes. They're the ones who are blind, if you watch it, blind mentally,
right,
blind emotionally, while the hero, he doesn't see, because he's blind, he doesn't see colors. So he's not racist. Because he's blind, he doesn't see sexist, because he doesn't see it until he feels it and all the rest. So that's why I think they're doing, psychologically, that's why they're doing blind stuff. Because every one of the blind movies, The Swordsman, the Korean film, Eye for an Eye, Blind Swordsman, and this one, Blind War, they're exceptional. They're exceptional fighting. But the problem with, and what I was going to say is, being a lover of comic books, my favorite Marvel comic book hero was not Spider-Man, although I loved him passionately. He was very close to being my favorite. My favorite, because of the blind aspect, was Daredevil. I love Daredevil. I was there at the Racebrook Pharmacy the day the first Daredevil comic came out.
Wow.
And I went, they read my mind. And from then, I've always been a huge fan of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Blind War, the moment his daughter throws the rubber balls at him, I said, they're doing Daredevil. That's how he was trained too. And then originally that opening sequence where he's fighting the crazy guys in the courtroom.
Oh yeah, that was
just
wild.
Awesome. And the woman in the movie is just terrific. And I was going, oh, it's such a shame that she's a villain and goes into jail. And I suddenly went, oh my God, they don't send her to jail. She becomes a frenemy with him. And I went, She's Elektra. It's
Ah,
Daredevil. It's Daredevil and Elektra.
I didn't pick that up.
Didn't realize. I picked it up
All
and I
right.
went and I watched it go and then I had to do this because it's an hour and 46 minutes long. I keep on going. Stupid Inspector Clouseau character, get out of the way.
Yeah, he's
Get out of the
horrible.
way, stupid Inspector. Because if he had been stupid or Inspector Clouseau inspired, because Inspector Clouseau was inspired, but instead he's just plain stupid.
Exactly.
He's a waste of time. He's an annoyance. And I'm
Yeah.
going, you're bringing the movie down. So I would recommend if you haven't seen it, just skip over,
Yeah.
just go fight, Daredevil, Elektra. And the
Yeah.
other thing that didn't make me happy was his daughter. His daughter was great with him. She helped train him. But
Right.
when she was captured, he just,
Oh,
I'm weak. I can't do
oh,
anything. I
that
can't
was
fight
so
back.
annoying. That was so annoying.
But
Dad,
yeah,
Dad.
shut up,
How
but
many?
you, I'm blind.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait a minute. Keep saying dad so I can hear
Dad,
you because I'm
Dad,
blind.
Dad.
But it's a good
Yeah.
movie. It's a good movie. The fights, especially. I mean, I watched it throughout the first time, and I went, "Ooh, that made me mad." I'm just going to fast forward to the fights, and as long as I just watched the fights, I was going,
Yeah. Yeah. Bizno says Americans did a story about a blind hero too. Do you know which hero he's talking about?
"No, I don't."
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, I think what you're talking about is the ripoff, not the ripoff. They bought the rights to Zatoichi, and
Right.
they had it wasn't Rutger Hauer.
Yeah. It was
It was
Rutger.
Rutger Hauer.
Blind Fury.
Blind Fury. The
Right.
thing is, they cut the thing to shit afterwards. The studio chickened out. They just had him doing all this Zatoichi stuff, like
Yeah.
pouring tea and stopping before it fell out of the
Right.
cup.
Right. Right. Right.
But then they said, "Oh, Americans won't dig this," so they cut all that shit out.
Really?
And they just cut the thing way down and they ruined it.
Oh wow. Wow.
They mincemeated it. So yeah, because
I
that.
enjoy Blind Fury for what it is though, but I didn't know it was just cut to shreds though.
Well, I don't enjoy Blind Fury for what it is, which was a piece of shit.
But yeah, Blind Warrior was fun. I
Blind War
enjoyed
was
that,
good.
man. Yeah, for sure.
And the other movie on the new movie, and we got already they put out Right On, the Jackie Chan movie, and I was tempted to review that, but we'll save that for February. And they have a bunch of other really cool movies for February. But for January, the other one they
I
had
thought
was
we talked about Right On already, didn't we?
yeah, but they're putting it on. They're putting it
Oh,
on because we'll talk about it again.
okay.
Since they released
On
it February
Hayao.
1st on Hayao.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they're also on Welgo. This is Thousand Eyes of Figia. Figia. And I loved its Chinese title. Its Chinese title is Chi Men Figia, which means these are men of Qi. And indeed, this whole movie is about mystical martial arts or Qigong. It's about energy-based martial arts. So there's a
All
lot
right.
of this and
Yeah.
very little of this. However, it also looks like a bunch of high school friends or maybe junior college friends got together and did a home movie.
Oh.
But they did it in China, which means they have a huge cast and beautiful sets and great costumes. But all the kids in it, also they have a lot of flesh. They have a lot of female flesh.
Ah.
They saved all their serious casting for the female roles. The male roles, everybody's a little cross-eyed. The faces don't quite, the cheekbones are uneven. The villain is hilarious because it really does look like, a snotty guy from the drama club said, "I will take care of my own makeup." And he does the thing, and nobody can fight, and it's all special effects. And of course, since it's a junior college, home movie, the special effects are all kind of like okay. So it's fun, but interestingly enough, there's another movie also on Welgo, which on Hayao,
Yeah.
called Thousand Eyes of Dunjia. It's the same title except Dunjia, and it's directed. It's got major Hong Kong stars, major director I reviewed that, I think, on long before we got onto your channel, Fat.
Okay.
I reviewed it on one of my podcasts,
Right.
and I was I enjoyed it a lot. So I highly recommend,
That was
if
good.
you want to see the difference, watch a double feature on Haya of Thousand Eyes of Dungia and Thousand Eyes of Figia. I recommend that you do Figia first, so you'll have something. So you'll go, oh, this is much better. Because if you
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
Dungia first, then you'll watch Figia and go, oh, that's not very good at all. So, but they're fun. They're great comparison. And also, it's good for you, Fat Samurai, and all
Yeah.
the fans and stuff, because again, it's a great lesson on how to make a movie.
Gotcha. Champ says hello. Thanks for stopping by for a quick hi, Champ. Thank you, brother. All right, next up, Lift.
Next up, Netflix.
Starring Cat Williams' favorite comedian.
Well, keep the poster.
One of his favorites.
Keep the poster up.
Okay.
Because just look at that poster, and do you see something different? If you look at every other poster starring our buddy there, you'll see his expression on all his other movies. He's always making faces, or is what they say in the business, pulling faces.
Yeah.
Here, my immediate theory from the very moment he appears on screen in this movie, I said, oh, something's different. Something's different. I think Kevin and The Rock had a little talk. And they sort of went, we're beginning, our fame is beginning to slip a little bit. Our reputations are beginning to slip a little bit. And I think The Rock said, it's time for us to take this shit seriously and stop jacking around. Stop expecting people to automatically like us when we're acting the fool. It's time to stop acting the fool. Lift is I don't know if I would call it delightful. What's another word that's not as, it's delight. What's a word for semi-full? It's
semi-full.
it's delight semi-full. In other words, he's taking it seriously. The movie is not. It's a heist movie. It's a heist movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Of course he went there. Fat always goes there. But in any case, and I would go there too if I wasn't too busy talking.
Yeah.
But in any case, it's a heist movie that is very enjoyable. Great cast.
Okay.
The Kingpin himself is in this movie. And Vincent D'Onofrio does not appear in movies if he doesn't like them.
Right.
And so here, and again, everybody here is taking it. Heist begins at 40. It's an enjoyable movie. It has fun. It also has Spider-Man's Peter Parker's buddy is playing a major role in the film as well. Has a really good cast, has a really good idea. They play it straight. It's one of the better F. Gary Gray movies, because I haven't been wildly enamored of some of his stuff when he's playing it loose. He's playing it fast and loose. Here, they play it fast and tight. And that's what I want. That's all I want out of an entertainment. Fast and tight, not fast and loose. Not fast and smart, not fast and stupid.
Okay.
Look, if you watch Lift, I think you'll enjoy it.
He's got the same face expression on this poster too.
That's right. He's taking it seriously. He's going, look, guys, take me seriously. I'll take you seriously.
Take me seriously.
Yeah.
All right. So it's pretty good. So the action was solid too for Lift. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly heist based, and it's a lot of activity, and there is fights, but and it's also what's great is he fights like his character should fight. He's smart. He fights smarter. Yeah, there we go, Jet Tiger. Absolutely right. There we go. Wheel Care Guy. Very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an entertaining film.
All the way from the UK. What's going on, Kevin? Good to see you. Good to see all these guys.
And to HQ. Very nice for you to be here.
Also, it's a good point Colin brings up. The Rock is actually finding out his fame is dwindling even in the WWE as well.
Oh, well, that's but he's very smart to jump back in now that it's going to be on Netflix. The WWE is going to Netflix now.
Right.
And Vince McMahon is gone. Finally. Oh yeah. Did I tell you guys
that's another story, another stream. But yeah, go ahead.
I told you I worked with the WWF for a while, and I was in their Super Bowl commercial. And so I've been waiting for Triple H to get control of that place for years and years and years
Yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
very smart.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
for
I
sure.
think I really hope it has the rebellion, the revolution now that Vince is finally they forcing his claws off. He
Right.
won't let go without ease, but hopefully Netflix will go. We get a whiff of you,
Yeah.
and we will blow this deal. Anyway,
Exactly.
next on the Netflix hit parade.
The brother's son, and I'm already loving the artwork. I'm already loving the decapitated head and the fish tank in the back there.
That is an excellent representation of the show. I mean, it still is a little. It's thankfully just a taste of chop sake sui. It's not completely chop sake sui. They
Okay.
have actual Asians working on it, but the main guy behind it is Brad Falchuk, who's a white producer, but he has his heart in his right place. Are my glasses off balance? Should I get another
No,
pair of glasses?
you're good. You're
All
good.
right, because I think
Yeah.
I'm looking like cross-eyed at this
There you
point.
go. That's
I'm
fixed.
looking like the guys in Phrygia now. Anyway, Michelle Yeoh is the best thing in this,
Okay.
and Michelle Yeoh is another example, along with Alan Richmond, with what's his name from Richardson from Reacher.
Yeah.
She is fully committed, but then again, Michelle, as you know, I've known Michelle. Michelle gave me her, not her, but gave me a James Bond Tomorrow Never Dies jacket, and
Wow.
so
Yeah,
and
that's
she's
cool.
always committed.
Yeah.
She never takes any job for the money. She always takes it and commits 100% for it, and she does it here, and she is still the best thing in it. The action is good though, and the action is unfortunately done by a non-Asian. It's done by Eric Brown, but he also worked on John Wick 3, Creed 3, Day Shift, the Kevin Hart movie, which I quite enjoyed, that also had Scott Adkins in it about the
Kevin Hart was in Day Shift? That was Jamie
yeah.
Foxx.
Oh, Jamie Foxx. Excuse me,
Yeah.
right. Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx. Oh man, showing my racism again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Rick.
I'm black blind. I'm black blind. Oh, you idiot.
Well, I saw what made me even more excited to watch this because I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is like a gangster
Yeah.
series.
It's a
But
triad thing.
I
Yeah.
did not know the actual fighting was what was legit. Like some
Yeah.
of some of the martial club guys, I saw them. They were involved with some of the fights too.
Right.
So I'm like,
And
man, I have to watch this.
it is, yeah. Again, fast forward to the fights. Unless if you like the tone of the show, I'm not too happy with, because if you go back to the poster, you see one's a comic and one's a straight guy. And the comic, yeah, he's I'm the other brother who's not sure about this. And the biggest problem with the show is that most of the actors are pretending to be something they're not. Not most of the actors, but the ones who are pretending to be something they're not. Because there's a guy in the last episode where he's in jail and he's acting tough. And I'm cringing because he's not actually tough. He's acting tough. And he's not a good enough actor to bring it off.
Right.
Michelle is a good enough actress to bring anything off. And so she's watchable. So it's okay. Oh, you love the show, actually. Even for a minute, tried to show you the negatives in fetishizing triad, can't you? Yeah, that's true. So yeah, all in all, it's got its heart in the right place. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Well,
he's got a shout out his buddies involved in the
well,
project.
there you go.
Cool.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it more than I did. I
Awesome.
still thought it was good. I just
Right.
didn't think it was great.
Copy that. Oh, we have Kevin says he ordered Kung Fu of Fury. I think he meant the
Films of Fury.
Yeah, I think he meant your book.
Well, you can see he spelled my name wrong, but he got the Rick right.
Yeah.
Not quite the Myers though. So I hope you enjoy whatever you get, and I hope it is something I'm involved in, and not just a ripoff of something I did.
Yes.
But so we'll see. But thank you, man. Keep up the good work. And now from Brother's Son to
man, this came out of nowhere. A lot of people were hitting me up because I didn't know this was on Netflix.
Again,
like right towards the end of the month, I was like, "Damn it!" Because I was trying to catch up. I was trying to catch up, be on point with you, Rick.
You got to keep up with Netflix because what does Netflix do? It had the French films, those awesome French films.
Yeah.
Now it has this awesome German film.
Yeah.
60 Minuten. minuten. And it was very similar. In other words, these are ex-stunt people who are getting together. They're inspired by the French movies. And I think Netflix said, well, those French movies, the Lost Bullet and the Lost Bullet 2, those did very well. And then they go to all the other countries and go, do you have something like that? And these guys did, yeah. We have anyway, Tolga der German, who did The Witcher and Jack Ryan and Charlie's Angels. He did Jack Ryan on Netflix. So they went to him and said, you got something? He went, yeah. And this is a run. Not Run Lola One. Was that also Run Lola Run? I think that was also German. I'm pretty sure it was.
I think
and
so.
This is sort of like the male.
I'm positive on that though.
The male cage fighter version of that.
Okay. All right.
The only thing I didn't. It moved along. The only thing that I was not as great as I wanted it to be is that the hero is an a-hole. I wish the hero was a little bit more likable. And what sets it off is he has to get to his daughter's birthday party, or his wife will divorce him and take the child. Meanwhile, he's got a lot of responsibilities to do this big cage fight. And so he got to get across town in 60 minutes. And as such, it's Run Lola Run, except with him. And this is the other thing, that by the end of the movie, there's a lot of action by a lot of people. But by the end of the movie, I got a little tired of it because it was he's a cage fighter.
Yeah.
And what I like is when somebody learns something, when they're in a situation. Most of the people do fight in character, but their characters are all the same. They're all German people involved in cage fighting. So they're all pretty much the same. So they're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over.
So the fights are a little repetitive.
That's the word I was looking for. But still, it's good.
Still enjoyable. Okay.
It's still good.
Okay. All right. I copy that. And hold on a second. We had a comment here from.
Yes.
Yes. It was cool to see Bruce Willow in this film. Yeah. He was also in the movie. And shout out to Bruce Willow. And I had a great time interviewing Bruce a while back, a few years ago. Yeah. Shout out to Bruce.
Well, come on back, Bruce.
Yeah.
And now we go from Germany to Korea.
This trailer looked so good, and a big Don Lee fan. So, Rick, did this I know what he's going to say. I can tell already. Don Lee was good in it.
Don Lee, no. Don Lee was great in it.
Okay, okay.
But Don Lee, literally, they should have had a poster of him holding this movie together. It is a Korean zombie film.
Okay.
It is a Korean action film. But by force of personality alone, he is the reacher of this movie. Okay. And of course, most of it is nonsense, because again, he's what I want you guys to do. There was another movie, I think it was 60 Minuten, but definitely in Badland Hunters, Don was one of the producers, and you can see the logo, the logo of his company at the opening of the movie.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get it exactly right, but I believe, because I laughed when I saw it, it's a logo that has 3 interlocking fists.
That's great.
And it's called Punch Productions.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Exactly. That's what I said. And he lived up to, and I said, that has to be Don's company. That couldn't be somebody else's company. Because on his credits, it says executive producer, his Ma Dong Suk.
Yeah.
And also the stunt guy is Hyo Myung Hwang. No choreographer is listed, so I think it was Don who did it himself.
Right.
But they worked on movies like Good, Bad, and the Weird, and that lives up to this. And so, yeah, there you go. Look at those fists. Look at those lovely fists. Boom! And, I wish they would do this for him, what they did for Sean Connery in the latter-day James Bond movies, which is whenever Sean Connery hit somebody in You Only Live Twice, it was much bigger noise. It's a much
Right.
bigger sound effect.
Yeah.
And I want that for Don. I want little, I want little pieces of people's heads coming off when boom. Punch Productions, you had it. You
Yeah.
found
Punch
the last guy.
Productions. Yeah.
You understand? Punch Productions. And I love that logo. I would love a T-shirt of that logo.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but just for him.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no, that's not true. The rest of the show was fun, but
Right.
he really makes it sing.
Elevated it. Okay. Copy
But
that.
now, speaking of elevated,
And I'm fired. I know I'm fired. Oh,
why are you fired?
I'm fired because I've heard nothing but amazing things
About
about the first film, and I've actually owned the first movie, Kingdom, on
yeah,
Blu-ray. I've had
yep,
it for years.
yep.
I just never got around to watching it, and I still have people to this day that tease me, like, "You need to stop everything you're doing right now, Samurai. You need to put Kingdom in and watch the first movie." And now, look, we're at movie number 3 now, so I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
Well, it has Kingdom. The movies have an odd effect on the fans of Kingdom.
Okay,
Kingdom is one of the most popular mangas there are. You
right.
know, my nephew, who's a huge manga fan, he loves One Piece. He's seen all 1,500 episodes. And then when I told him about this, he went, "Oh my God, that's my second favorite manga."
Yeah.
And I said, "And you haven't seen the movies?" And he went, "No, I've been meaning to catch up with them." So believe me,
Oh wow.
people
Oh,
are sort of like going, the movies can't be as good as the manga, so I'm not going to rush to see them. Well, I got
mm,
news for everybody. Yeah, they are.
okay.
Because again, the people who make the movies also make the manga, are also involved in the manga. These are adaptations. They use the manga as a what you call it when you make a comic book of a movie. What's it called when the director needs it all drawn out for them? I'm blanking on that phrase. I'm an old man.
What
What's the phrase?
the live action version of it?
No, no, when they storyboard.
Oh, storyboard.
The
Okay.
mangas are the storyboards for these movies.
Ah,
The Kingdom manga is the
wow. Okay.
storyboard for these movies.
Okay.
And also the picture of the gentleman up at the top there, that's Takao Osawa. He's playing Wang Qi, which is a major character in the book. And if you look closely at his chin, he has a beard that is shaped like a trident.
That's
He
amazing.
has, and he is, again, if you want to see the art of capturing the screen, you act differently on stage than you do in a movie. He's a movie actor. I bet he's done stage stuff in Japan. This is a Chinese history movie made by the Japanese. So the manga is about the warring periods of Chinese history. And these movies are beautifully done, emotionally done, but he gets on screen and through most of this, his job in this episode, the third episode, which was one of the major turning points, because again, they're following the manga pretty closely. Because
Okay.
again, the creator, the artists and writers of the manga are involved in the films. Pretty much all he does in this whole movie is stand there or sit on a horse with his arms crossed and just look at the camera
Wow.
because he's looking at the emperor in when he's standing up with his arms crossed, and when he's on the horse there, arms crossed, he's watching the battle because this is all about the strategy of battle,
Right.
especially
Right.
of that era,
And yet he's
and
still killing it. He's still killing it just from doing
killing
that.
it. And he's in a movie. I'm on watching a television from a half a world away, and he's still locking. He's got his fingers in my brain.
Right.
I'm just
Right.
going,
Right.
I cannot stop watching this guy. This guy is amazing. And the
Oh,
action is super cool too. I mean, the adaptation, yeah, the woman fighter behind the guy, she's my favorite because he's emotional and he's terrific. He's all emotion, and
yeah.
it works really well. But she's the one who's practical because most of his group, they some of them don't quite pull off the fact that they're not dead yet, and they should be dead 1,000 times over because they're like 12 guys versus 1,000 guys. But she's always convincing.
Nice.
It's
All
kind of
right.
like she's like
Good.
and she's got the blade. Again, highly recommend it. We should have a show where we just sit and watch part 1, part 2, part 3.
Well, now there is a blessing for me waiting so long. Now I can, like you said, Rick, I can watch all 3, and now I could review all 3 for you guys. See, look at that. So I don't feel so bad now.
You shouldn't feel bad. You should feel very happy because you know it's waiting for you. It's still there waiting for you. And I don't think, and since they're doing an ongoing series, Netflix is not going to take off 1 and 2.
Right.
They'll keep 1 and 2 on.
More shout outs from
Hey,
the
Jamie!
UK. From the UK. He's excited for Monkey Man.
Me too.
Yeah.
And by the way, Jamie, you can wait. In fact, you're waiting right now. Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
Really quick, Rick, before we move on, thoughts on the film Shadow that came out a few years ago.
Which Shadow film is that?
I think he's
assuming... Is that the Zhang Yimou?
Yeah, the one that's like very black and white, beautiful looking silhouette movie.
Oh, yeah. I reviewed that on, I think, the podcast.
What did you think of that?
I thought it was beautiful. I mean, it's Zhang Yimou. And also, the umbrella weapons.
Yeah.
And again, a mix of people who have different motivations and have different strategies for dealing with everybody else's motivation. I thought that's one of it doesn't beat Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It doesn't beat
House of Flying Daggers or something like that.
No, it beats that.
Okay.
But the one with Jet Li, Donnie Yen,
Hero,
it doesn't beat Hero, but it's up there. It's one of his best, and yeah.
Nice. All right.
It's very good.
Copy that. Next
I've seen it 3 or 4 times. Next up, we go to the movie theaters. We're finally out of our home and we're in the movie theaters.
Well, I'm glad I didn't see this in the movie theater and I saw it at home. I still paid for it to watch it.
Okay.
The show support. I did a trailer reaction to this movie. I was really excited. My expectations were probably maybe too high when I watched this. But I couldn't help it because of who was involved, and man.
And?
Oof. So the first one shot, Rick, was a fun, pleasant surprise. It kind of came out of nowhere.
Scott Adkins.
But you could appreciate that they were trying to make a one-take movie.
Oh no!
From beginning to end. That's what one shot was.
But that makes sense.
But you could tell there were moments where they could have edited there, they could have cut there, but you didn't mind it because you were like having fun, like you're on the ride, right?
Right.
So they were like, okay, let's do it again. Let's make it bigger and better. And man, the first half of the movie, all I'll say is this: I did a whole spoiler review. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's hilarious. Especially with my guests that are with me. The first half, me and my buddy Matt we watched it together. And the first half of the movie, we were like, why do people not like this movie? Like the first half, we were like, dude, we're having fun. Like we were like, I feel like I'm on a ride. Like this is great, And then I was like, I hope they make another one. And then from the middle to the end, I was like, what happened?
WTF.
What happened? And I don't want to see another one. And it's just crazy how quickly that changed. And we had to do some research, and we found out different cinematographer for this movie than the first one shot, and different editor. And you could tell from the second half of that movie, the way the fights were filmed was really sloppy. There's moments where you didn't even know what happened. When Scott Adkins was killing people, like you just didn't see it. It was very clunky, messy, and you could tell because they're trying to make this one-take movie. You could tell that, oh, wait, I'm going to punch. Wait, no, you wait. I'm going to hit you, and then I'm going to counter. You could see the choreography way more to where it was like almost a dance, and it was totally taking you out of the movie, and we were just like, what is going on? And two of my favorites of all time, Scott Adkins and Michael Jai White, every time they fight each other, it's amazing. And even their fight I just was like, what's going on, man? Like, this is terrible. I felt nothing when they fought. I felt nothing watching this movie, and I wanted it to end. And the worst villain ever was the unfortunate female actress. The character they gave her, if you want to even call it a character, was terrible. And they substituted Michael Jai White. They kind of baited you. You thought Michael Jai White was the main villain, and she is. And Michael Jai White shows up. Hey, I'm Michael Jai White, and then he disappears the whole movie, and then he comes back at the end and fights, and that's it. And it was just what happened. So James Couche was the director I had with me. He said he was a lot more forgiving to the movie because he saw the behind the scenes of the film, and he said they ran out of time. A lot of those fight scenes that looked sloppy and messy and just off, the timing off, something's off. He says they ran out of time. They literally had like 3 hours to do every fight. And that's why it is the way it is. So
I don't completely agree.
Okay.
You know what the clue is? Here, everybody, I'm putting down my Sifu hat and I'm putting on my Sherlock hat.
Okay.
So you're listening to Sherlock Santa now. You said the magic.
I wasn't able to find Sherlock Santa in your Apple Music.
Siri, I didn't call for you, Siri. Anyway, the big giveaway was different editor, different cinematographer. That's not a lack of time. That's a change of crew. And what did I say earlier in the show? Pandemic, strikes. That's what could have explained this whole thing. They did the first half before the pandemic or at the beginning of the pandemic, then they had to wait. And then they couldn't get the same people back. And also because of the strikes. And so what happened was that they got new people and they had no time. That's why they, Scott probably went to, that was great when I had Scott and Michael as guests at the Kung Fu Extravaganza twice.
Yeah, right.
They were very friendly, and I'm almost certain that Scott went to Michael, could you do me a favor, please? And they showed up. And again, they didn't have the same crew. They didn't have the same choreographer, and they didn't have time at that point. They just wanted to finish it. And then once it goes, and the other thing, you can always see when the heart is out of a movie, because by the time it goes into the editing room, everybody goes, just finish it. Just finish it. Just finish it. Just get it done.
I think you're onto something, because even the sound design was like, he would stab someone and rip through their flesh and you would barely hear anything. Everything was pitter patter, punches, and
in the second half, not in the first half.
No,
it's a dead giveaway. Literally a dead giveaway.
Right.
It's I'm fairly certain that's what happened, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that last Star Wars movie? The last one with Rey and the Ray. That was another example that J.J. Abrams did.
Rise of
Skywalker. That was another movie where they went, just get it done.
Just finish
it.
Yeah. And I'm still huge fans of these guys.
Absolutely.
I'm still a diehard fan, but unfortunately, what's really bad, Rick, is they left it open for a sequel. Like it ended.
Hopefully,
So maybe the sequel the sequel might be all right.
Yeah, because remember, the first half was good. If the whole thing was terrible, then no sequel.
Yeah.
But let them get, and that's another great thing. Again, Percy Jackson came back because the last couple haven't been done. So let these guys have a shot of doing it right.
Yeah.
We'll forgive them if they do it right.
And Michael Jai White's character did live and escape, so maybe we can have a better rematch, in the next one. So.
Bring in Marco Zaror. Come on, bring it
in. Yeah, Marco, man. All right. Rennie Harlan returns.
Or
the bricklayer. The bricklayer.
No, this movie can only be reviewed as a double feature with the other. Let's see, are they both the same? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 letters in bricklayer. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 letters in Beekeeper. All right, so these two movies were made at the same time, came out at the same time, and had the same situation. So Beekeeper and Bricklayer, both based on pulp novels of an ongoing character, both both retired super secret agents,
okay,
and both using a bee-started business, bricklaying and beekeeping, as their basis. So here's the situation. I mean, this explains the movie completely. Bricklayer originally was supposed to be done in 2011 with Gerard Butler producing and starring.
Oh, interesting.
And if Gerard Butler had done it, then we would have had some run for the money between the two movies. But at this point, and also look at David Ayer did Beekeeper, and Rennie Harlan does Bricklayer. Both had their, you could clearly see what they were trying to do. But again, I'm not sure. I haven't checked the credits yet. I don't think Aaron Eckhart was a producer on this movie. And if he was, he didn't try very hard. This Beekeeper, again, I forgot what the
Bricklayer.
Beekeeper.
Oh, okay.
Was Jason Statham's movie.
Right.
It was clearly a movie that was controlled utterly by Jason Statham. Right. And I believe he also has a production. He's also a producer on the film, and I believe he had an opening. And his production company also has a very amusing name, which I'm blanking on now. But if you watch the movie, watch the opening credits, and you'll be able to pick up right away. Oh yeah, that's his. That's because it's like Punch Productions. It's something like that, Okay. Three Fists Production or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But in any case, yeah, Bricklayer is just a mess. It's very you saw it, right?
Actually, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, I wanted to, but I didn't get a chance to before.
It's made by a bunch of people who just don't care.
Oh.
It's not like that, it's not like let's finish it. It's just like this is good enough for garbage. Anybody who would like this movie, they deserve what they get.
Yeah.
Well,
what is it saying? Don't stop asking questions. Just consume next product.
Yeah. I mean, and this thing was a filler, and it doesn't, I mean, nobody has, poor Nina Dobrov, who's the co-star. You could tell she did not want to be there.
Oh man.
I mean, Aaron Eckhart he's trying to do the witty kind of James Bond talking or whatever, and she just stares at him. She doesn't even try. She reminds me of poor Sam Hoy in The Legend of Wisely, but I found out later that Sam Hoy had some sort of terrible disease during that movie, and so he couldn't, he had facial paralysis.
Yeah, wow.
But here, Nina Dobrov just sort of went. And Rennie Harlan's going, can we have another? She's not even I hate you. You don't exist to me. You might as well be a mannequin.
Oh wow.
Ooh. I'm just going to stare. I wish this was green screened and I was just staring at a tennis ball.
That's pretty brutal.
Dialogue is bad. The action is messy. They're putting an explosion. Something happens. What was it? Something happens on a amusement park ride, and part of the amusement park ride, like the seat, comes off and crashes to the ground, and explodes, in a huge fireball. And I'm going, roller coaster seats are not run on gasoline. But, that's just one thing. I mean, it's an amusing movie in comparison to Beekeeper. And you, ladies and gentlemen, let us applaud Fat Samurai Guy. His finger on the mute button to keep us from hearing his coughs is more impressive than the Bricklayer. That's more entertaining than Bricklayer.
Thank you.
But you want to see it done right. Again, you want to Jared Butler, Don, Fist Production.
Yeah, Don Lee. Yeah.
Don Lee. I was going to call him Don Wong. So then again, my Chinese my Asian racism would have come to the lawn. All the names sound the same to you, don't they, Rick? Anyway, no, it's just because I'm really old and I just have no memory. Anyway. Anymore. That's why, by the way, you guys, that's how I came on the YouTube channel in the first place. I had to stop after 100 podcasts because I couldn't think of my own name by the time I had finished the podcast. Now I can't think of other people's names. But anyway, and now Beekeeper.
Yeah.
Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Jason Statham is my favorite American movie martial artist. No question. He's my American version of Vincent Zhao. They're similar in that when whatever movie Vincent Zhao is in, you can tell there are some movies where if they go up to Vincent Zhao and they say, "Could we, to get this scene done faster, could you just sort of like simplify your kung fu?" And he goes, "No, no, I am not going to simplify my kung fu." And you go to Jason Statham and say, "Can you just do a shortcut, just sort of like do the equivalent of hitting in the balls?" And Statham goes, "No. I'm going to do this fight the way I would actually do this fight.
Yeah.
If I was this guy and I had this skill," and of course, Beekeeper is the greatest of the greatest. The character of the Beekeeper, what he was doing there, and it's something that Chuck Norris tried to do earlier, but Chuck Norris doesn't have the skills of Jason Statham. And that is, he's trying to do the destroyer. The Beekeeper is the destroyer. I wrote 3 novels in the Destroyer series. The destroyer is Remo Williams, who works for Cure, who goes outside of the Constitution to protect the Constitution.
Yeah.
He takes care of problems that the government can't legally take care of. That's what the Beekeeper does too. And although Jason Statham's character does not know Sinanju, which is what Remo, which is the sun source of all martial arts, he might as well. And again, what is my favorite thing about this thing? The same thing we saw with Reacher. It's not just his muscles. It's not just his fighting. The Beekeeper is thinking ahead. He's always thinking ahead. When I bet they could have done an entire movie of what he did between the time the character who kills herself, which gets him onto this mission, and when he starts this mission. They could have done an entire movie of how he made his plans. They don't show that. He just shows up at the place.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite part of his character is he just walks up. He's like, "Hey, you need to get out of here, man. You're on public.
Yeah.
You're private property.
Yeah.
I'm here to burn the building down."
Right. Right.
Just,
but he doesn't. They're probably thinking he's going off half cocked. Right. I got news for you. He's going off fully fucking cocked.
Yeah.
He is ready. When he shows up and they said, they do it later, I'll count to 3, and it goes 1, 2, 3, I did it for you.
Yeah.
And then takes them down. This whole movie is delightful in the same way as Reacher is because he's way ahead of everybody. Yeah. He's thinking the whole time. And there's great moments at the end when things go. Originally, I wasn't happy about where the plot went.
Okay.
But then I said, no, this is perfect. Because again, it's the destroyer. Oh, this fight with this guy.
That's great.
I could watch this at least a half a dozen times, and I probably will. Because this is the culminating fight. This is the only time, because this guy, the villain, has been training to fight a beekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted specifically to defeat a beekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
And so he does. Yeah. So and what Jason does is improve. He sees, he finds the weaknesses and he exploits them. But he's willing to sacrifice some of his own invulnerability by that time to do that.
Yeah.
And also the moments Jason Statham doesn't talk much. So I would advise you, if you're watching this movie, that when he does talk, listen. Listen to what he's saying. And I bet this is Jason Statham talking. He's telling you what he believes. And I believe him. It's just, there's this wonderful confrontation between Jeremy Irons and him before the big fight.
Yeah.
And to me, that's one of the best examples of mental martial arts that I've seen, where Jeremy Irons, again, it's very well written, this thing.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. So I want a whole bunch of Beekeeper movies. I hope they're able to maintain it. But so far, if I never get another one, this one's great.
Yeah,
this one's great.
I'm pretty sure this did well, and financially, I'm pretty sure it did well. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get more for sure.
This
Do
is
you
another
think?
one.
Do you think we'll see other beekeepers?
Yeah, she was
agents going after him in the sequel.
Well, I'm hoping that they don't try to stretch it out. I hope the next movie is him, because in that segment, that picture you just came from, that was the beekeeper who replaced him because he retired.
Right.
And she is terribly flawed.
Yeah.
So he already knows that the beekeepers are corrupt now. They've been corrupted.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping the next movie is him taking on the whole beekeeper situation and reinvigorating the beekeeper program.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that with Alien too, because the sequel to Alien was supposed to be the big blowout with Ripley on the alien planet, or the aliens coming to Earth, and they did Alien 3 instead, the way they wanted to do it, which again was to drag it out and to make make it cheaper. But we'll see.
But more beekeepers, man.
Listen, more Godzilla -1s.
Yes.
More people who put their heart and soul into it, even if it's not a big budget.
Yes, for sure. All right. This was amazing. But before we end it, Ric's recap for all you late bloomers just now showing up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for popping in just for a few minutes. But we're gonna go down again. Thumbs up, thumbs down, middle thumbs.
That side.
All right. Number 1, Echo. Ric, thumb to the. All right. Okay. Copy that. Okay. All right. Percy Jackson.
Again, the people, for Percy Jackson fans, for me.
Okay. Reacher, season 2. All right. Blind War.
Yeah, let's give it a full thumbs up. Yeah, it's not straight thumbs up. It's just for the Blind War parts, good. For the rest of it,
for sure. What was this? 1,000?
1,000 eyes. 1,000 eyes of Figia.
What do you give that?
Fun.
Okay. Lift. Okay.
It delivers.
All right. The Brother's Son. All right.
Acting a little wonky, but not
60 Minuten.
A little repetitive.
Okay. All right. Don Lee film.
Just for Don. This is for Don.
All right. Kingdom 3.
Boom. 2. A matter of fact, let me put up your thumb so we can have 3 thumbs up, because it's Kingdom 3.
There you go.
Kingdom 3. 3 thumbs up.
I'm sure I'll love it. Anyway.
You better.
Yeah. And God damn it. I
have to give it a shrug. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
It was
I have to though. All right.
Wait a minute. How about this? Hold on. First half of One More Shot.
Yeah, first half. I give it an up.
Second half.
Yeah, there we go. All right, that's better. Yeah, copy that.
Okay,
Bricklayer.
Hold on, I have to do it correctly. Hold on, let me get my thumbs in the shot again. 1 down, 1 up.
All right.
No, Bricklayer is 2 thumbs down, but the other one, more shot. Yeah,
okay,
that's
2 thumbs down for Bricklayer.
Bricklayer is 1 thumb down.
Beekeeper.
4 thumbs up.
There we go.
4 thumbs up. There we go.
All right. There we go. Hey, another awesome, epic episode of Action Film Autopsy. Hey, y'all know what you need to do. Are we still getting pieces of Ric? Or are we stopped?
Yeah, they're still there.
Okay.
He's selling them every month, but they're still. And he puts more to replace because he's got so much of my stuff now.
Well, you guys know what you need to do.
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
Oh, you want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me?
You got it!
Get a piece of Ric.
In the description box below. Check it out. Go to the store. A lot of awesome stuff, autographs, all that good stuff. Again, shout out to Jen and Miko and Frank Jang. We'll get them on the next episode for sure. And most importantly, rest and power to the amazing Carl Weathers, the amazing legend that is Carl Weathers. Rest and power.
What is Disney doing? Now, first Lance Reddick was in Percy Jackson. Ray Stevenson was in Ahsoka, and Carl was in Mandalorian. What are they doing to their aging black actors?
I don't know, but you know, he when I think of Apollo and all those classic iconic characters, I just smile, man. So that's what it's all about. The legacy will remain and live on for future generations. All right, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. And don't forget, if you missed the beginning of the video, make sure you check out my Samurai shout out section. Check out those movies I recommend.
Very cool.
Got to support independent cinema, and we'll see all you badasses and great asses and wise asses on the next one. Take care, guys.
And at Versus, I'll be on Versus on the 22nd.
Next Versus coming up. Sneak peek of the next Versus. If you're a channel member and patron right now, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. But what's going up against the Beekeeper at the end?
What could go up against the Beekeeper?
You'll find out. Stay tuned towards the end of the month, or if you want to be a channel member, you find out right now. But take care, guys. I see you guys on the next one. Take care.